Welcome to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters, the real talk podcast for mums navigating the beautiful chaos of motherhood. I'm Charlie, mum of 5, here to help you feel more confident and less overwhelmed from pregnancy to those am I doing this right moments we all have. We talk about the stuff that no one prepares you for, so go and grab a cuppa and let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters. Today's episode might make you cry. It might make you exhale for the first time all week. Because we're talking about something no one really prepares you for. Why motherhood feels so much harder than you expected. Even when you love your kids more than anything. Even when you wanted this, even when from the outside, everything looks absolutely fine. If you've ever felt guilty for feeling overwhelmed, then this one's for you. Can I tell you something? You can love your children with your whole heart and still be completely drained by motherhood. Those two things can exist at the same time. And I think that's the one thing that nobody warns you about. Before I had kids, and I was the person, the girl, that always wanted kids. I wanted a big family. I am from a big family. And I loved having so many siblings. I wanted to give that to my kids. I just was so ready to love all my children before I had them. And I thought love would be enough. I thought if I loved them fiercely, which I do, the hard bits would just feel worth it. And they do feel worth it. But that doesn't mean that sometimes they don't feel hard. There are days when I've looked at my kids and felt just overwhelming love. And then in the same breath felt like I had nothing else left to give in that day because I was just so drained. Not because I don't want to be their mum, but because I'm a person too. And motherhood just asks so much of us. It asks for our sleep, our patience, our bodies, our time, our identity. Sometimes it feels like it asks for everything. And loving your kids just doesn't refill your cup sometimes. Only you can do that. So if you're sitting here thinking, I love them so much, why do I feel so empty? There's nothing wrong with you. You're just running on fumes. And that's not a character flaw. That's a signal that you really need to listen to. Which brings me on to guilt. Let's talk about guilt. Because I know you feel it. I think we all do from time to time. The guilt that creeps in when you just want 5 minutes alone. When you hide in the bathroom, pretending you need longer than you do. When your partner offers to take the kids and you feel a little relief. And then immediately feel awful for feeling relieved. I've been there 5 times. And I still feel it sometimes. This idea that good mums don't need breaks. It's a load of rubbish. That wanting space means you're ungrateful. That craving time alone makes you selfish. Can I just say something? It really is a load of rubbish. Wanting space doesn't mean that you love your kids any less at all. It means that you're a person, a whole person, with needs that existed before you became a mum. You're allowed to want a cup of tea that's actually hot. You're allowed to miss your friends. You're allowed to want a conversation that isn't about nappies or nap schedules or when the next school trip is. You're allowed to want to feel like yourself again. And the truth here that no one really tells you. Taking space actually makes you a better mom, not a worse one. When you pour back into yourself, you actually have more to give. When you're empty, you're just surviving. Your kids and your husband, your partner, they all get the worst version of you. And you deserve more than just survival mode. I think one of the hardest parts of early motherhood is the shock. It's a real shock to the system, isn't it? You're not really told that it's going to feel like this. We almost see it through rose-colored glasses. And although people tell you, get your sleep before baby comes and the newborn stage is hard, you can't really imagine just how hard that's going to be. It's something that I think is really hard to understand until you're actually in it yourself. You expect to be tired. You don't expect to be bone deep exhaustion that sleep just doesn't fix, or naps, as we say here. You expect it to be hard. You don't expect to question everything about yourself. You expect to love them. You don't expect to sometimes feel like you've lost yourself completely in the process. I remember after my first baby looking in the mirror and genuinely not recognizing myself. Not just physically, though that definitely was a factor, but something much deeper. Like the person that I was before had just vanished. And no one told me that that would happen, because I don't think it's really something that people talk about. No one told me that I'd grieve her while loving my new life at the same time. I always find it so interesting. Even when you're pregnant, you're still your old self. You're this one person who has all her ideas, her opinions, loves to go out with friends, loves to have the freedom to do whatever she wants to do, spend the money that she wants to spend on herself. Whatever it is that you love, you have that freedom. And then you give birth, and within a matter of like minutes, you're this whole new person, this whole new identity. You are mum, and you've never been her before. So if you're in that place right now, the shock of it all, I get it. And it's not that you weren't prepared. It's that nothing can fully prepare you for this, and that's okay. You're not doing it wrong. You're just doing something that's really, really hard and really different. This is the one I really want to talk about. Because I think it's the root of so much of the overwhelm, the identity split, like I just mentioned briefly. Before baby, you were you. You had interests, dreams, a sense of who you were. Like you'd been that person for the whole of your life up until the point that you gave birth. Maybe you had a career that you loved. Maybe you had hobbies. Maybe you just knew what made you feel like yourself. Then baby arrives. And suddenly you're a mum. Everything revolves around this tiny little human. Your time, your body, your thoughts. And somewhere in the middle of the night feeds, the nappy changes, and the endless giving, you just stopped being yourself. You became mum, wife, the one who holds everything together. But the version of you that had dreams, energy, conversations that weren't about sleep schedules, she feels like a complete stranger now, and so far away. And here's what makes it so hard. You don't know how to connect the two. The old you and the new you. It's like they're two different people. And you're stuck in the middle, not fully either one of them. This is something I've thought about so much. After 5 babies, I finally figured out that the goal is not to go back to who you were before. It took me such a long time to figure this out. That version of you existed in a different life. The goal is to figure out who you are now, to take parts of your old self that still fit and build something new. It's not about finding yourself necessarily. It's about reconnecting with who's already there. And that's actually something that I teach inside my Back to Me course. There's a whole section called the Identity Audit where we do exactly this. We look at who you were before, who you are now, and figure out how to bring those two versions of yourself together. Because you don't have to choose between being a good mom and being yourself. You can be both. You're allowed to be both. So let me just say this clearly. It's normal to love your kids and feel exhausted. It's normal to want space and feel guilty about it. It's normal to be shocked by how hard this is. It's normal to feel like you've lost yourself. None of that makes you a bad mom. It just makes you a person, a human. And the fact that you're here listening to this, trying to figure it out, that tells me everything that I need to know about you. You care. You're showing up, even when it's hard, even when you're running on empty. That's not nothing. That's everything. So if you needed permission today, here it is. You're allowed to feel all of this. You're allowed to want more than just surviving. And I hope that you do want more for yourself than just surviving. You're allowed to come back to yourself. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with a mum friend who needs to hear it too. And if you're ready to actually do the work of reconnecting with who you are, check out Back to Me. The identity audit alone is worth it. It's helped me so much, and I know it can help you too. The link is in the show notes. Thank you so much for giving me your time and for being here today. Thanks for listening to Chat with Charlie on Mum Matters. Find ongoing support in the Mum Matters community. Link is in the show notes, because behind every child is a mum who matters. See you next time.